In traditional Ahrimanism, Zervan is the creator of both Ahriman and Angra Mainyu. He is the all-purpose creator. The story goes that it took him 1,000 years of sacrifice to create Ahura Mazda, and during that long period of time, he began to build doubt. This became the doubt of God, and that became what's known as the devil, as Angra Mainyu. So through his doubt and through his anguish, the devil was in the womb with Ahura Mazda, and together begins the duality and the destruction of which is the spirit of anguish. Both were a part of the creation due to the fact that this doubt and this self-doubt seeped, and this is what is constrained as evil within Zervanism, Traditional Ahrimanism, and Zoroastrianism. Ahura Mazda was the son that Zervan wanted. In Zoroastrianism, he is known as the highest spirit of worship, or the mighty lord of wisdom. It is Ahura Mazda that has created the religious stifling dogma. He is the one who sets the trap. He is the one who unshackles the mind, the spirit, and the soul. He is the one who continues to oppress mankind into falling within the realm of his angels, better known as Ahuras. And it is these Ahuras that are a part of the control mechanism that sends out the vibrations to influence us all in that right-hand path shackling way. And he is the enemy of which we are trying to offend and destroy. And as it was said before, here is Ahriman, or Angra Mainyu. He is the anguish spirit, or the spirit of anguish. It is this anguish that is considered evil, and he is of all death. He is the death bringer through anxiety. And this is what they call evil. This is what they call corruption. This is where we find our wisdom. This is the Supreme Ahriman. This is the beginning of the Tattvas. In comparative to the Tattvas from Hinduism, it would be looked upon as Brahma, but we don't acknowledge that. We acknowledge Ahriman to be the supreme of the universe. And this is where things begin. Once Zervan became aware that both twins were in the process of incubating, he made the proclamation that the first one born would be promised sovereignty of the universe. And Ahriman heard this, and being ready, he ripped himself from the womb of his mother and created the explosion. And that is how reality came into being. As a parallel to this story, we find that in the original Vedic version of the cosmic creation is Purusha. Purusha is the cosmic man, and this cosmic man was sacrificed by all the 33 gods of the universe to create both the physical and spiritual / mentality of reality. Here is the beginning, which you can see the parallels between how Zervanism and Vedic Hinduism, along with Zoroastrianism, are paralleling one another to the same type of mythos creation. So we must now take into an exception of that Ahriman is beginning as Purusha, or the cosmic man. And as Hinduism evolves out of the Vedas and into the Upanishads, you see the division of the cosmic man now having a cosmic counterpart, Prakti. So now you have Purusha and Prakti in sexual union in order to make creation. Both are required, and not one can be without the other. And this is where we see the beginning of the development of Akamana, of concupiscence. So when we look into things and we see the fact that the mind of Ahriman, or the mind of the cosmic man, must now choose the weapon against mankind, which is concupiscence. And concupiscence is an overwhelming urge for lust. And this is where the corruption of the mind, or the cosmic man, starts. And that influences through the gunas. But here we see the beginnings of that it requires both male and female aspects to create. So your first division in the duality was the creation of Ahura Mazda and Angra Mainyu. Now your second division in duality is that there is a male and female aspect that have to join together to create a whole, or to create the next thing. In traditional Ahrimanism, we see this union of Ahriman and Naga Manasa, which in tantric terms is the Asean Manasa, or the equivalent to the Sadasiva, which is also the equivalent of the Purusha Prakti. Both are one, but they are separate because they are in the sexual union. So both is fulfilling its piece as a two-headed unit because they are in the process of the creation. Here is another duality split in the cosmic essence of the I am versus this is. The Ahriman remains static, apathetic, anguished, and informed. In other words, he is in a state of non-caring, and he is just there. Think of it as like he is the backbone of creation that is directing the other side of the energy, but is not doing any of the motion himself. And the separate side of this is the Manasa Aspect. The Manasa Aspect is motion. The Manasa Aspect is power. Power meaning the ability to influence or move. And it opposes the Ahriman, but yet it has to be directed by the Ahriman in order to attain things. And how this provokes living things comes into 5 different elements. The first element of Kala, which is time, age, decay, and death. The second is Vidya, misperception or limited knowledge. Then you have Raga, which is place of desire. These are where your desires come from. Niyati, which is limitations of casualty or casualations. In other words, everything that's casual, you're limited to that power, which leads to a Kala, which is the limited power of the myriad things. The other note that we must make about Mother Manasa is that she takes the poisons and turns them into medicine, thus completing Zarisa's work. And it is this transformation of poison into medicine that gives us the liberation that we seek from Father Ahriman. Now the tethers that bind us to the reincarnation cycle and binds our jivas to reality are known as pasam. And these pasams are made up of 3 malams. The malams are the tethers. The first is anava, which is ego. The second, karma, your deeds or your actions. And the third is maya, which is the illusion. The illusion that is based on all beings that keeps us ignorant to the spiritual reality. And the way we attain this liberation from God and this liberation from the spiritual universe and the reincarnation cycle is 1, by worshipping Ahriman through doing Ahriman's Yasna, which helps us to overcome our ego. 2, by following the evil ideology, which is the corruption, and which we bring unto ourselves through our thoughts, our speech, and our actions. And 3, by investing and becoming known the wisdom of the Supreme Ahriman. And the wisdom of the Supreme Ahriman is what destroys the Maya. It destroys the illusion. The wisdom of him is what gives us the ability to see beyond the reality that is in front of us. And this is the pre-video for the Yasna series. Thank you for watching.